Suicide Squad. I gotta say, okay, start off with spoilers. There's no way that I could see that movie, give it to you this early, and there's no spoilers. So I'll start off. This is spoilers. Spoilers. Margot Robbie is in this film. Will Smith. Viola Davis is in the film. There were Jared Leto, of course, the Joker. He's in the film. There's a couple of people in the movie that you didn't really expect, like Ben Affleck. I guess if you saw the previews, some of the later previews, you knew that Ben Affleck would be in the movie, and that's cool. But Flash, spoilers, is in the movie, and not bad. I actually feel a little bit more comfortable with what DC is going to do with their Flash now. There's an Easter egg. Stay till the end. There's an Easter egg. Here's the thing. Okay. The movie, the good part was it almost went immediately into the action. Almost the entire movie was action, and I think they got a cue from Captain America as opposed to, Captain America and Iron Man, as opposed to Batman versus Superman. There needed to be more action, and it needed to be a little bit more lighthearted. So they got that. Boom, nailed it. But and it starts out great. I mean, Viola Davis plays the Wall, Amanda Waller, who is a government agent that created Project X, which is the Suicide Squad. It's their government name. And she takes, throughout the history of the comic book, because it's a comic book adaptation, throughout the history of the comic book, she's taken different villains who were popular at one time or another, or somebody that they were trying to push or thought they could fit in a comic book, and they've put them in the Suicide Squad, making them do missions that were pretty bad, usually at the life of one or two of the members. And that's pretty much what they do here. They need something done, and they get the Suicide Squad together. She picks them, gets government approval to put them together as a team, and their first mission is pretty much their own fault, I'll say. So they've got to go after somebody, and it's pretty much you know what this movie reminds me of? This movie reminds me of Bram Stoker's Dracula, in the sense that Bram Stoker's Dracula was a tale about a monster, a demon, a vampire, the first and most powerful vampire, right? The undertone was a love story. Vladimir Dracula was in love with this chick from the beginning all the way through her reincarnation. He's still in love with her, and she's like, oh yeah, I love you too. And she remembers him, and it's a love story, and that's the thing. So it's pretty much what they do to stay together. That's sort of this story. It's a story about comic book superheroes brought to life. and the action and the fighting and the one-liners and the whole thing. But there's an undertone. The Joker and Harley Quinn. Joker's in a movie, everybody knows that. It's not really a big giveaway. Joker and Harley Quinn are madly in love for each other. And the undertone is what they would do for each other and what they would do to be together again. And I kind of like the way they did the Joker. I kind of like it because what they did with the Joker was sort of reminiscent of the Penguin on Gotham City. Penguin doesn't have in Gotham City, the TV show, he doesn't have the big umbrellas of shooting machine guns and block bullets and a helicopter in the umbrella. He's just a dude. He's a crime boss that's a little disfigured, but he's sadistic. That is the Joker in this movie. He doesn't have like electric joy buzzes and, exploding chickens and, deck of cars that are actually knives or something like that. He's a crime boss that is feared and respected by just about everybody. And they call him the Clown. And they call Batman the Bat. And it's good. That part of the story is good, and I think they plucked that from Gotham. Good choice. Now, the bad part is, well, I guess one more good part. Almost every single scene Will Smith is in, he completely steals the scene. Not in a bad way. Not like, oh no, they shouldn't have put Will Smith. No, in a good way, like, I'm glad he was in this movie because he is helping this movie out. Will Smith is to this movie pretty much what Ben Affleck was to Batman v Superman. That movie was not that great, but Ben Affleck's scenes made the movie palatable. You could watch the movie because of that. Ben Affleck was incredible. Will Smith, I think, did such a good job that we might see, Deadshot, who is his character, we might see him in other movies, probably in Batman movies, because he kind of suggests that he's got a thing against Batman and wants to meet him. So, but Batman's in this movie, Flash is in this movie. Both of them had great scenes. They were short, but they were great. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie had the Suicide Squad in it, and that's kind of a downer because they weren't that great. I was expecting, it was like Batman v Superman again. I was expecting a 10, and I got like a strong 6.75 on the Richter scale. So it could have been good, but it was not. I don't think it's going to be a box office smash. I think the first week will actually tell, maybe the first 2 weeks, but I think it's going to be really, really soft in the movies after a week or two. It wasn't great. They should have had, unfortunately, I hate to say it because Will Smith, if he's in a movie, it's not a movie, it's a Will Smith movie. And they almost should have made this a Will Smith movie because just how I thought his presence was sorely lacking and missing in the new Independence Day. They should have had him and they might have had a hit. That's this movie. They had Will Smith and they didn't have enough of him in the movie because he stole every scene. He was funny. He was, he was Will Smith. He was Will Smith of like the late 90s Will Smith. And they had that genie in a bottle and they just opened it just a little bit. So I think the Joker was good. Don't get me wrong. Joker was great. Harley Quinn was okay. She was okay, but she wasn't. I mean, I don't like Harley Quinn in the comic books anyway, so maybe that's it. Amanda Waller was evil. To take Will Smith's words, gangster. She's a government gangster in this movie. Never upset Amanda Waller. You will not see your kids again That's for sure. But it was good. I mean, I on a scale of 0 through 5, I'd give it a 3, 2.5, maybe something like that. But go see the movie. Tell me if you like it. Let's talk about it. Write down in the comments. Tell me if you haven't seen it. Tell me what you think it should do in comparison to the comic book. Have you never read the comic book? Let's talk about it. Do you think it was good as a Will Smith movie? Could it have been better as a Will Smith movie? I think so. What do you think? And as always, right down here on the bottom, click my face and subscribe. And then like. Or don't like.